talk about shifting this central position, these centers, into a particular value, such as they reside in the extreme corners or reside some point shifted from the central position of this particular container. In that case, four parameters are being used over here. Well, those are closest side, closest corner, farthest side, and the farthest corner. All of them are practically being defined into our books Why Fear CSS3. You may have a glance of it. It is being described into our book here. In the present context, all we can say here that these individual parameters, those are practically concerned with the ending shape of that particular gradient. And this is the exact function. Now let's see in action what it exactly does. So if we now write here closest side, now what will be the exact outcome? So let's press Ctrl S and we can see that this will be the outcome. In this particular case, all it is doing here, that it is practically meeting the corners which is closest to the center, and this is the exact function of closest side over here. Now instead of closest side, if we put here farthest side and if we reload, we can see that this will be the outcome in the second case. In the same manner, if we put here closest corner, there it goes, reload, and you can see that it is now practically the ending shape, and this is the exact purpose of this particular syntax over here. So all those things are practically syntaxes, those things are practically extended keywords, those are defining what particular ending shape it would turn into. And in the same manner, if instead we use here farthest corner, which is the last one, this will be the outcome. So all of these things, those things are practically dependent upon the shape of this particular gradient you are using. And another thing, if we use, instead of these shapes only, if we now concern about the positions of this particular gradient, now if we put here 70% and for say 50%, so what should be the result? We are practically using two valuation of position properties here along with the ending shape which we defined as the farthest corner at. This is the thing that we need to add over here. Now if we press Ctrl S and get back to our project, now we can see what is now actually being seen over here. Center is now shifted 70% along this x-axis, and it is now lying 50% from the top along this particular y-axis, that means from this vertical position. This is what is exactly being described over here with these positional values. We are practically defining how deviation of these centers would have been taken place. In the same manner, if we define here that instead of closest corner, we will be using here, the result should be something like this, as we can see here. So all these things, those things are practically dependent on this kind of positional properties. In the same manner, if instead of this we do not mention anything, as we have seen previously that this will be the result, in the last case, all we can do over here, we can see that there are practically three color stops right now, red, green, blue. So instead of this blue color, if we want to keep our gradient transparent, then in case of this last color stop, that is blue, instead of this blue color, we can use here this transparent. Now if we press Ctrl S, get back to our project, we can see that this is the red, this is the green, but now instead of this blue, there is practically a soft touch of transparent color. In case of this linear gradient too, we can practically apply all these things here. In this linear gradient, against all those color stops here, actually this is the blue color stop. So instead of this blue color, if we replace it with this transparent, we can see that the same exact thing will be observed over here. If we do not wish to put it here, and if we instead of it use transparent color in the middle one, there it goes, reload, and you can see that this green color is now being removed with this transparent one, and it is getting transparent over here. Again, on the other hand, if we wish that we will be using some semi-opaque color over here, so this is in the first case which is being observed. We have used 3 color stops over here, red, green, blue. Now if we use RGBA value of, for say, we are using a black color, so instead of this hex color code, if we use here this one, what will be the outcome? You can see that the black color is already in effect. Instead of this blue, it is now turning into a black, which is semi-transparent at the end. And if we reduce this one to 0.2 valuation, we can see that this will be the outcome. So these are the two methods with which we can practically reduce the opacity of a certain color present into a particular gradient. Same thing can be done over here. You can use this RGBA value. Instead of here, you can use it here too. And if you press Ctrl S, you can see, you can observe that this will be the outcome. So this is clear now that we can use this property of turning a particular gradient into a semi-transparent one. We can use this particular color code here. Instead of this hex color code, we can use this RGBA color code, as we can see right over here. So this is a procedure with which you can turn your gradient into a transparent one. So that's it for today's tutorial. Hope you guys have liked this tutorial. If you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys in our next tutorial. Till then, bye.